Yeah, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Jeannie Lynch, and so excited. It took me a while. It's taken me a couple years to actually get Drew to commit because he's just been so busy and on the road. And as you know from my YouTube channel, I only get people on for interviews. I'm only interested in people who have over 1 million people following them on YouTube. And Drew just hit 1 million, and I told him when we first met, well, God, we've known each other for years when we were both up and coming. And I told Drew that the minute he hit 1 million subscribers, no matter where he was in YouTube land or on tour or whatever he was doing, that he was going to have to come in off-road and do an interview with me. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Drew. And Drew, just to start off for my audience that might not know you, although that would surprise me, you know, because you're just so famous. If you could just tell me a little bit about you and how you got started, and you know, how have you been able to be so successful? Share that with my audience, please.
Well, one of my biggest inspirations has to be the Beatles.
Oh, really?
Ringo Starr specifically.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't get enough credit for what he's done for the Beatles. You know, like the Beatles, they're unbelievable because they can take child's poems.
So, how old were you when you got connected with them?
I think
2?
No, it was a little bit. I remember I was in my dad's car, and I think I was like 6 or 7 at the time, and we were listening to this one song off of, I think it's Abbey Road. It's called The End.
Okay.
And it's where Ringo has like a drum solo in the song, and it was just, I mean, it was really simple, but you know, it was just
something connected.
It made it, yeah. And I remember listening to that, and I was thinking, like, someday I feel like I'm going to be able to play that.
That is so cool. Have you learned that specific song? Is that one of the first ones you learned?
No, actually. You know, I just remember it was actually a couple years ago. I took some time. I sat down on the drum throne, and I listened to that song over and over again, and I tried to figure out what he did. And Ringo was actually left-handed. He played on a right-handed drum set.
Okay.
But
we're learning all kinds of things here today at our interview. Thank you for that. You're just a wealth of information.
Yep. Yeah. Ringo's quite the guy.
So he is your muse. Would you say that? So
one of my first.
Okay. So I know the audience is just so going to be curious how old you are, because you know obviously you're not my age. So how old are you, and has that been a challenge for you in your success?
In some ways, I would say it has been a little bit.
Could you speak to that? I think there's a lot of people out there who are trying to do what you do, and so how do you manage that, Drew?
You know, I just keep practicing all the time. You know, that's one of the biggest ways that you can sort of disconnect from reality in a good way. Is, you know, if you're practicing all the time and you're working hard at it, then that's what makes you become better. Because if you enjoy it, then you can go play drums and, you know,
it's not
practice or have fun.
Yeah.
And it's not work.
Yeah. So even when you're practicing and trying to, you know, develop your craft, we would call that work, right? You're still enjoying the whole process. That's so right. You know, where is your influence? I know you just mentioned Ringo, but who taught you your drums? Did you self-learn, or is there anyone that you would like to credit for your success as far as starting you off?
My first drum teacher is Jeff Thal.
Okay.
He works at Troll.
Okay, plug for Troll if you're right here in Venice.
Troll Music. It's a nice music store.
Okay.
Yep. And
so he taught you, and are you still connected to him on your off tour, as you're on tour and the rest of it? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I like that. So shout out to Jeff if you're watching. I'm sure you are. Does he follow you?
He does.
Oh, okay. Yes. So a loyal fan.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would say so. Yeah.
So you know, the audience, of course, who knows you, and obviously I know your backdrop story. You came into success at, I think it was 10 or 11, you know, so you kind of, and YouTube, did it help you get started, or did you do this on a different platform?
I did it off of a slightly different platform, actually. It was just something that was one of my other hobbies. It's like when I couldn't play drums, I would do YouTube, and there's so much inspiration on YouTube, and I think it's great that people can do what they love, and then have people observe. It's
learn.
fantastic. Yeah.
So would you say your YouTube channel is more about the marketing or the fun aspect, and or is it more about teaching people how to do your craft?
I would say it's slightly on the fun side of things, because I never loved like a really serious environment, because I'm school's not that much of a joy in life.
Actually, can I stop you there? Because I don't know if we were talking earlier before we went live, because we're streaming live now, and we were talking about school. How do you balance that? Did I already ask that? Was that live, or were we just offline? I don't remember.
No, you asked that before we started.
Okay, good. So, because it's such an important question, because there's so many people out there who would rather not be going to school, and I'm just wondering how you balance that, if you can speak to that.
First things first, in order to become successful, I don't think it's necessary to go to school, but if you're really thinking about pursuing a career that'll take you places, then I would recommend going to school for it, because you have a better chance of success. But school's tough. I just go to school because I have to, and it's not really.
Do you think you're going to use what you're learning in school for your future?
No, I do, because
things that
there's a bunch of communication skills that school, I say will, but they should teach you. But I feel like I've gotten a great education, and so it's going to really set me up well.
Yeah. So when you talk about being set up well, I know your manager personally, because he represents a couple other people here in our community. How do you manage who is your manager, by the way?
His name's Tom Halpin.
Okay, so it sounds a little familiar to your name. Is that your dad?
That is my dad.
And is there a good partnership there? Does he give you or is he still the parent? Or so tell me a little bit about that. How he balances that.
Every once in a while he'll do some dad things. So he'll tell me, wait, be careful, stuff like that. And, if I'm walking on the streets, we'll park my tour bus, and then sometimes I just like to walk around the streets and listen to music.
Does he on tour with you?
Yep.
Oh, he does. Yep. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. So gosh, he's gone quite a bit. With you.
Yes.
Take us out through the next year. So if we were going to see you, Drew, where is your next concert? And tell us a little bit about your band, and the name, and kind of how you're set up. And I would like to just know more of the logistics about your band.
Okay, well, starting in February is the Didgeridoo tour, and it's going to be in Brisbane.
Okay.
And,
we will put up a link to that show.
Mm-hmm. And
are there still tickets available, or are you pretty much sold out?
No, there's still a few available.
Okay, so that's how many people how many people does that stadium hold? What are you selling out to right now?
50,000.
50,000 people. What does that feel like?
It feels amazing, honestly. It's great to have an audience that big that enjoys your craft and what you do. And as working as a team in my band, it's just fantastic to have that support by the fans.
Let me set this up a little. I don't know if my audience knows that what's different about your band over other bands is that typically the lead singer really is the one who kind of controls the songs and the rest of it. But you do that. I've heard that's your gig, right? That's your deal.
Yeah.
And so, that's pretty amazing. So do you control the playlist and everything? And, do you run the whole practices on your own? How does that work?
Well, usually I'll just tell somebody, you're going to play the song or else you're out of the band.
That's great to have that power.
No, I'm just kidding. But, we all come up with a good compromise, but it's usually some of the stuff that'll implement more of my amusement or fun, within the set, so that way.
So are you writing most of the music you do? Are they covers or are they really original Drew?
They're all originals. Yep.
Wow,
Mhm.
that is amazing. And you're on your third album?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm the producer of all the albums that we do. So
Oh my God.
I write all the music.
And if people want, say if my group wants to get a hold of you, do you have a fan base that, is there any website or anything that we could belong to, or what's your YouTube channel name? I know that kind of puts you on the spot because you're still kind of creating that, but.
The YouTube channel name is just Drew Halpin. It's just my name.
That's easy.
But we don't have a website. We need to start working on that pretty soon.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll have that.
So I'm going to ask my audience, really, I'm sure wants to know this, with, following you. Are you in a serious relationship with anybody, or are you available?
I am available.
Oh my God, now that the hits don't come in, it's going to go crazy. Look at this. Look at all the live people. They're already responding. This is out of control. So, Drew, that's good to know, because I'm sure if I didn't ask that question, many of my fans following me would be very upset for not asking that. So thank you for going out on the limb on that.
Problem.
Look at them blush. So, not to go dark on you, but there's a little bit of, in any experience, especially when you're famous, right? There's some conflict. So, can you speak to? I don't want to. We're going to not end in a negative note. I promise you. I don't like to end that, but I just was wondering if you could be a little bit more vulnerable right now and tell us what the hardest thing is about being so famous at such a young age.
I think it's just being picked on by all the other artists that are, doing well, and they're saying that, my parents gave me this fame and everything because
social media.
Yeah, kind of like born into it, but it's some of those people are just a little bit immature to not realize, what's become of me and how.
Yeah, you've heard so many people say like, don't respond or don't look at the negative comments on social media and stuff, and. How do you manage that? We know that that's, bound to happen. Do you look at the posts? Do you respond to them? How do you deal with that?
No, and I don't respond to them because, usually if someone's trying to, throw shade your way, then you just kind of ignore it. But you also acknowledge the fact that they're immature and they're just trying to get attention. They're trying to get attention from it. Because then, if you do respond to that, then they're just going to go off. They're going to get so much attention from that. Everyone's going to be talking to them about it.
I love the way you manage that. A lot of people need to do that, do more of that.
I think so too.
Right? So I think we're going to end with one final question that, again, if I don't ask, I think I would get in trouble. Take me out 5 years from now. Are you still, in the band? Are you, more producing now? I mean, do you have your own label company? I guess... If you were in the ideal situation 5 years from now, where would you be? If you could let us know so we can help you with your vision.
We're planning to stop touring in May, but I think after then I might consider doing a few side projects.
Okay.
Maybe writing like a solo album.
All right.
And
Going out on your own.
Having some features like Fieldy from Korn, the bass player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's unbelievable.
He said the same about you. He was on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. I'm really excited because I need to call him up or something because that's gotta happen.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Drew, anything for my audience? Would you like to do a little pitch here for yourself? This is your time. It's your my people want to know yours. So is there anything you want us to know about you?
I got nothing.
I got nothing. Okay, you heard it here. So this is Drew and his band. Say your name again. We didn't have it. How could we not have it? The name is still in production, right?
Yes, it is.
I'm so sorry to put you on the spot with that. I thought you had one.
Yeah.
Okay. This is Drew Halpin Band, www.drewhalpin.com. You can reach him on Facebook, YouTube. He just, all his name, it's all his own brand. I love it. Thank you, Drew, for coming in today. And that was really fun.
Thank you.
Join me next week when I interview someone amazing.